This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Day 13 of the UAW strike, and it's beginning to look like this thing could go on for months. Yesterday, President Biden met with workers on the picket line at a GM parts depot in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And the president did a lot more than just lend his moral support. Not only did he tell strikers on the picket line that, and I quote here, "You've earned a hell of a lot more than what you're getting paid now," he also told reporters that the UAW had a right to bargain for a 40% pay increase. No doubt GM, Ford, and Stellantis were dismayed to hear the president interjecting himself into the bargaining process. So far, they have only offered about 20% pay raises. And that's going to give the union the confidence to dig in even deeper in its bargaining position. A text message that was leaked last week from the UAW's communications director, Jonah Furman, said that the union strategy was to inflict, and I quote, "recurring reputations damage and operational chaos" to the automakers, and again I quote here, "to keep them wounded for months." That sure doesn't sound like the strike is going to end anytime soon. Instead, it sounds like the union is using the strike to fuel a broader labor movement that attacks economic inequality. Jonah Furman's comments strongly suggest this strike could easily go into November. Today, former President Trump will be in the Detroit area talking to striking workers, and that's only going to add more fuel to the fire. Well, that's our strike update for today. Let's look at some other news. Yesterday, Cox Automotive reported that sales of electric vehicles in the U.S. are up 80% above where they were a year ago. EVs now account for 8% of the new car market, and automakers are on track to sell more than 1 million of them this year. Cox says sales are rising thanks to more inventory, prices that are 19% lower than last year, and a lot more leasing. Even so, Reuters points out that Tesla dominates the EV segment, and everyone else is just fighting over a small slice of the pie. Here's the list of the top 10 automakers selling EVs in the U.S. market, and Tesla sells nearly 10 times its closest competitors. But even though EV sales are rising all over the world, not every automaker is sharing equally in the success. Volkswagen is cutting back on production of its ID models in Europe because of sluggish sales. Volkswagen is shutting down its assembly plants in Zwickau and Dresden for a couple of weeks in October to bring production more in line with demand.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Looks like more automakers are getting into battery swapping in China. Geely's commercial brand, Farazan Auto, just introduced a new electric van called the Super Van. It features swappable batteries, drive-by-wire technology, and it's available with a methanol-fueled range extender. However, the company didn't provide any specs about the electric powertrain or that range extender. And while Farazan is showing off the camper version in these photos, it's a modular van, which means it can be configured into different setups for multiple uses. You know, a lot of people believe that PHEVs are the perfect bridge technology to pure electrics, so BMW is adding more plug-in hybrids to its lineup. The new 5 Series sedan is now available with 2 PHEV setups. The 530e is powered by a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder gasoline engine and a 135 kilowatt, that's about 184 horsepower, electric motor that's integrated into the 8-speed transmission. It has an all-electric range of 93 to 103 kilometers. That's 54 to 62 miles, and it's based on the WLTP cycle. Then there's the 550e sedan with a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine that's also combined with an integrated electric drive unit, but this one produces 145 kilowatts. That's around 197 horsepower. The 550e has an electric range of 83 to 90 kilometers. That's between 49 and 56 miles. And those are pretty decent ranges for PHEVs, even though PHEV proponents would like to see even greater range. Those two models, by the way, are available now in Germany. The 530e starts at around $69,000. The 550e starts at $81,500. You know, electric car owners in Germany like the idea of charging their EVs at home with solar power so much that they snapped up all the subsidies available in just 24 hours. A German state-owned bank, KfW, had to stop a program to provide solar subsidies after just one day. Germany's transport ministry set aside 300 million euros for the program, which provided up to 10,200 euros for owners. But the bank received 33,000 applications within 24 hours, and that burned up all the subsidies. And it's easy to see why. It costs 1/3 less to charge EVs with solar power at home in Germany than it is by using the grid. And here's a pretty good option for car buyers who were worried about the soaring price of new cars in the U.S. The 2024 Nissan Versa has a starting price of only $17,225, and that includes destination charges, which makes it the lowest priced new vehicle in the U.S. The base version comes with a 5-speed manual transmission, and then the starting price jumps to just under $19,000 with a CVT. There's a bunch of standard safety equipment, including automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, and rear automatic braking. With new cars becoming more and more expensive, it's nice to see there's actually an affordable car in the market. Okay, and now finally, earlier this year we showed you how Ford put a backup camera on the top of the tailgate of its heavy-duty pickups. So when you back up the truck with the tailgate down, you still get a rear camera view. But Bosch came up with a better idea. It developed a backup camera that uses a fisheye lens, so you don't need to add an extra camera and all the wiring that goes with it on top of the tailgate. So even with the tailgate down, Bosch says one camera with a fisheye lens provides very good visibility all around the back of a truck. And a programming note here, there's not going to be an Autoline After Hours tomorrow. Gary's on vacation, and I'm headed to an automotive conference in Chicago, but we will be back again next week. And that wraps up today's report. Thanks for watching.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. Scheffler, we pioneer motion. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
At Scheffler, we pioneer motion. Electrifying mobility. Manufacturing smarter. Reducing CO2 emissions. Making energy production clean. Scheffler pioneers motion to advance how the world moves.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.